This clip gets worse the longer you watch.
Shut the f*** up or I'll beat you right to the ground.
Okay, did you see what they're doing? Let me run it back.
Because you the one just started it, bitch. That big black.
All right, now listen to the grown-ups in the background.
Off me.
When you first tune in, you hear children arguing. When you listen a little longer, you'll hear this little girl cursing. But this isn't just about children arguing. This isn't just about this little girl cursing out this other little girl. It's about what's being encouraged around them. You see all of this right here? This, which you're all looking at, for those of you who are listening, which you're all listening to, all this is the problem. But the reaction is the bigger problem, because when children get rude, when they get out of order, as we like to say, when they get out of order and they start cussing, you yuck them up. You stop them. Because I don't know if you all heard when she cursed the lady, let me run that back.
Off me.
I don't know if this woman is her mother, aunt, or just whomever, but she's an adult figure. You don't laugh at that. You check them. So let's break down what's happening here, because this little girl, she did not learn this on her own. Okay? I don't even know how old she looks. She looks to be, how old y'all would say? She looked like 5, 6? Would you say 5 or 6 years old? Probably doesn't even know how to spell her own name. Anyway, like I said, she didn't learn this on her own. She is growing up in an environment, in a house, with a parent or parents or guardians who talk like this. They speak like this. So she's mimicking what she hears at home. These are the same children who go to school. And for the teachers inside the comment section, or who are going to be watching this, these are the kids that the teachers have to deal with. These are the same children who go to school. And for the teachers inside the comment section, or who are going to be watching this, these are the kids that the teachers have to deal with.
I just had to cover this after I saw that over 1,000 teachers have already quit in one particular state in the United States of America since the start of the school year. You have got to hear why these teachers are deciding to quit their teaching positions. My God.
Greetings from the east to north to south. And this wicked ass place. The topic: who raised you? The questions: why you think this is the worst generation of young people ever in the history of America. Let's get into it. I am your host. I am the one.
Okay, here's what I think. When you see young children using profanity as that maybe little 3, 4-year-old, and when you see the parents or the guardians playing along as if the children are their friends, this type of thing never works. You know, one thing I hear about so-called independent women is you can't tell them a damn thing. If you want your independence so bad, and we can see the production of young people that are being produced today, there's no doubt about it. The system, methodology that these young women are using simply don't work. But guess what they do? They will continue to raise these children the same way. Einstein quote, his famous quote everybody use, the definition of insanity is to continue to do the same thing over and over and over as if it's going to work. Now, one of the things that the black women have done was taken the offer of the good Christian white man. What do you mean by that? Coming about in the late 60s, going into the 70s, when you make a deal to not get married and making statements like, you don't need a man, this type of thing never works. And the reason I'm saying it that way is because you have a bulk of black women that go to church every Sunday, but will not listen to their man or their husband. Now, they should have a husband, but you try to tell them something, they won't listen. Well, why are you talking about the black women for? Because the other races I have no interest in. I'm concerned about my Israelite brothers and sisters, period. The other races I have no concerns about. So when you take a deal, it's the same deal that the devil, that same devil that was in the garden thousands of years ago, made with Eve. The same identical deal that he made. Now we can look at the young kids today and we can tell there's no hope. The Bible made it clear 2/3, you can just forget about 2/3. You're talking about 66, just about 70%. You can forget it because they'll never obey. That's the problem. One thing that I do understand, when I look at these young kids, children, and when I look at them on the surface, it seems like, oh, they can make it with a good amount of guidance. But the thing is, when you decide that you don't need a man and you don't need to get married and you producing monsters, I didn't say that. The Bible said that. You will produce pure monsters. When these young adults or even young children go to school, the teachers will tell you, I can't deal with this. You know, number one, I am not a babysitter. Number two, we come to any grade level for higher education, whether it's kindergarten or high school. The thing is, it's higher education. In other words, we are here to learn. We're not here to try to somehow make your children into better adults. I mean, as far as behavior, that is not the teacher's job. But somehow, you will send your kids to school. And guess what? They never do no wrong. That's personal with me. You know, that's personal. No, your kids are bad. And if the mother decides that the boy never do no wrong, he never do nothing wrong, or her daughter never do anything wrong, that's a problem. But instead of me talking long, let's go to the next clip. Because when they go to a source of higher education and the teachers don't want to be there, that's a problem. Let's go to the next clip.
What are some reasons why I am done teaching?
Let's hear it.
The student behavior is out of control. And the thing about it is, what I mentioned in another video, is that the parents back it up. So not only do I get blamed by the parents for these students' behavior problems, I get blamed by the admin. Oh, why is little Johnny up running around while you're teaching? Not only do I get blamed by the admin, I get blamed by the district.
Wow.
I'm so done. It makes no sense how these kids act a fool at this school and they want us to teach them.
So she's saying the admin is on the side of the parents and not the teachers.
So in other words, in their minds, they have done nothing wrong. I want you to think about that for a minute. When you are built from the ground up and you take no personal accountability, now mind you, women do that a whole lot. But when you are small, let's just say first grade, second grade. And if you do anything wrong and you go to the principal and the principal look at you, oh no, Johnny, you're okay. It's the teacher. Okay, you twerking in the classroom. Oh, no, Johnny, don't worry about it. I have to get on the teacher. Where there's no accountability, you can forget progress in any young children, any young children. I mean, you can just forget it. The young children will always think they are right. You know, they had this old cliche about the customer is always right. When the customer's mine, I'm always right. But in reality, that is a lie. Let's continue.
So everything I show you on this green clipboard is going to represent when I started teaching in 2005. And everything on this red clipboard is 2025. This is how many of my students are reading on grade level. Everything in blue, so I got 1.5 students out of like a group are struggling readers, but pretty much everybody's reading at least on level, some even higher. 2025. How many of my students are reading on grade level?
Jokers can't even read anymore.
This next is an average of how many of my students failed my class. Like they are going to have to repeat this. There's no recovering. They failed. This is 2005. This is this year.
Wow.
This is this year.
And of course, you know, some of the parents are going to blame the teachers. Let's hear what the parents are saying.
That is it just me, or are these teachers not teaching, like in the aspect of when the kids are in y'all care, like you supposed to basically parent them, like, you know, they're in your care, do what you like, basically do your job, do what you're supposed to do. Like, I don't have other kids at home, so I can't help my son that's in the pre-K learn to be around other kids. That's basically where you come in at, right? As a teacher, like where you help him to learn to be around other kids. Like, I'm so sick of the teacher always making it seem like my son is just so fucking bad and gives me a 48-month-old questionnaire today. My son is 4. So already, baby, this is a whole school. Do you not even have the right paperwork?
You see what I mean? This sums it up in a nutshell. There's a major disconnect between parents and teachers. Major disconnect. The parents, certain parents, seem to think that it is your responsibility to help the children with behavioral problems. Y'all know I can't talk work the damn, but you know what I'm trying to say. They want to help them. Their job supposedly is to help with the behavior of the children. No, that's not their responsibility. That is not. But see, they don't know that. In other words, you create a monster and you send them to public schools and you expect a quick fix. Now, think about it for a minute. If you can't handle your children at home, how in the hell do you expect the teachers to handle your children? Now, I mean, the young lady talk as bad as me because obviously the teachers ain't teachering. I don't even know if that ain't even a word. But you get what I'm trying to say here. You know, there's a major disconnect, and they seem to think that there's a magic pill to teach their children to behave at a schoolhouse. The mindset is gone. That's the problem. That's the problem. And this problem will never be fixed until there's a certain understanding between teachers and parents. Let's go to the final clip.
That's not the reason. The reason why they're quitting is because these kids are mean and they're making the classroom a war zone, and they're getting zero support from parents at home and from admin on their campus. If someone came every single day to your job, bullied you, hit you, cussed you out, rolled their eyes at you, treated you like you were nothing, like you were garbage.
Wow.
You wouldn't want to come back either. You would put in your 2 weeks notice. I made the decision not to return to the classroom this year, and I still have nightmares, trauma nightmares on a weekly basis about my former classroom and my former students.
Okay, now that same little girl that you've seen in the beginning of this video, that same little 3-4-year-old will be a heartache. It'll be hard pressed for her to go to any grade school and act right, because you can tell whether that was her mother, her guardian, or whoever she was. With an attitude like that at 3 or 4 years old, she'll never be able to get along with other students. In other words, the other students that's really trying to learn. What a disgrace. This generation is gone. Thank you for watching. I am your host. I am the one.